Welcome to the Five Houses webinar, Design Plans. We are so happy to see you everyone here. My name is Anastasia. I'm your MC for today's webinar. And before we start, I would like to encourage everyone to turn your cameras on so we can see each other's beautiful faces, since we built a community, and get to know each other. So it doesn't matter how you look. And I'm so honored, to introduce you, our two beautiful hosts for this event. It's Timothy Lowenhaupt and Sarah Blackburn. Please take your stage.
Thanks, Anna. So nice to see you. And it's so nice to see all of you. Hi. Hi, Tim. Good to see you too. Um, so welcome, everyone. We are so happy to share some updates with you and get you to help us out in our creation of the five houses. We've got some really cool things to share and to have you vote on for us. And yeah, I'm thrilled to begin. Tim, do you want to say any highs and welcomes?
Morning, everybody. Good evening. I know I have the Five Houses is this wonderfully international organization that some of us live in the worst time zones for, like myself. It's 6 a.m. every time we have a class to reach everyone. And I love this time of year because the sun comes up super early. So I'm able to wake up here. And one of the things that we're hoping to do is to keep that energy going in the development of the five houses. We've been developing this idea for maybe 6 to 8 months now, and each step of the way we're getting more committed to making that transition from just ACI courses, meaning we're not getting rid of them. I'm going to say it again. We're not getting rid of the ACI courses. Okay. People are worried. Not just the ACI courses, but opening the doors to a lot of different perspectives and possibilities to reach new students. So we're really happy that you're here with us and you want to be part of that, as Chat GTP always says, part of that journey. So something like that. Today we're going to give you some updates on where we've been since April, as Sarah said, and where we're going to be moving in the next couple of months.
Yeah, yeah. And uh I love that that concept of us coming together to create this thing called Five Houses Together. And so a few things that we can tell you then is that for those of you who were with us in April in Diamond Mountain, can you throw up a hand or an emoji if you were at that last retreat online or in person? Let me scroll through and see you. Oh, okay. Great, great. Those of you who were there with us, then yeah, oh, look at all this. This is amazing. It's really great to see you all again. Yeah, so those of you who were with us in April, you know that we brought you all together and we asked for your input around what will these five houses become. And we put you in your groups of four of the five houses, where we had our classics house with the ACI foundation courses, and we had our samadhi house with meditation, our retreat house or mountain house for retreats, and our staircase house for our Lam Rim teachings. And we had you fill in your worksheets and tell us how you want those houses to look and feel, and what is their main goal. And we took all of your ideas. I think we had over 1,000 of your worksheets telling us your thoughts. And we created some mission statements that we're going to vote on today. And I'm so excited to share what you said these houses could become. And then we've also got an opportunity for you to get even more involved. And so we'll also invite you to apply to be volunteers with us. And then we'll just say thank you and tell you the next place where we can meet and continue this journey, like ChatGPT says, of creating the houses. So that's an overview of today and what we've done and where we are now. But Tim, did you want to share a little bit more? I know you've been able to talk to Geshe and what we've been talking about on the team for the five houses.
Sure. So one of the things that had been just as a going back just a little bit of review time, you know, for those of you who are taking the ACI teacher training, this is what we teach a little bit. Let's review where we are, right? Where we've been. And really, it's been over the last couple of years, we've been having conversations with Geshe Michael about not criticizing the ACI 18 courses, but how could we reach more people? Because we found that the 18 courses are a particular flavor. They're a particular kind of entry point into these incredible transformational teachings. And sometimes that entry point is quite shocking for newer students. I mean, there's a kind of, I would say, like, there's the weird students, which I think all of you are, who just are like, the seeds go off and you're like, I want everything. And then you just jump in, right? And it doesn't matter how easy or how difficult it is. Like, the seeds just drop you into the whole path of the 18 courses. And I've seen it happen many times where we have people come to our events, they get really excited, they're inspired by the community, they're like, what's next? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And then we say, oh, well, check out these courses. And they drop into them, and it's not their cup of tea. It's not the way they learn. It's not the way they absorb information, or it doesn't immediately become practical or relevant for their lifestyle. And so we see those people kind of just fade away. And it's always worried me that we weren't doing enough for different types of people and different types of students. So that's what I was discussing with Geshe over the last couple of years. Like, how could we do this? And the answer that we had was always, well, we have different organizations, right? That's why those different organizations existed and came into being. We have YSI for the more yogi type personality. We have DCI, which was originally geared towards business people, and now it's more of a lifestyle brand. Here are all the teachings in a way that's really accessible for you right now without going into the depths of the ancient teachings directly, right? They're all there. It's actually very, very profound, including, I'm going to give you a plug for DCI Advanced Level 5 starting. It's going to be live in Xiamen in about a week and a half. It's a beautiful, beautiful course it's all about how to enjoy life. How can we enjoy life more? Right. And in the depth of the the dharma that's in it is incredible, but it's not on the surface, right? It's underneath. It's a in a way, it's kind of it's coaching people directly how to live their lives and how to improve their lives. And so I was, with all those different entry points, I was like, okay, that's fine. But then I wasn't satisfied. I was like, no, there's more. That's not reaching everybody. As long as we're not reaching all 8 billion people on this planet, we're not reaching everybody, right? We're trying to plant the seeds to reach those people. So over the last couple of years, I've been just peppering suggestions. What if we did this? What if we did that? What if we created a in between ACI and DCI presentation? Like for the spiritual seeker who's not yet ready for the classical training. Or maybe they don't have time for the classical training. They want little nuggets of wisdom now that they can apply. And so I remember exactly where we were. We were in Kyoto going to a fundraising dinner. Actually, it was more like a gala where people were celebrating. It was the end of, I believe, one of the executive training programs run by Stanley and Xiaoping out of mainland China. And we walked in, he saw me and he said, "Hey, I got an idea." And we sat down outside. We were already late. And then we sat down for another 20 minutes to talk about ACI, right? And I was like, this is cool. And he said, I had this idea. And he called it the 5 houses. And the main idea for us is how are we creating new doorways for people to learn these incredibly transformational ideas. Sarah, does that sound like kind of like a mission statement?
I love it. It's a vision of all the houses. It's great.
And I didn't write that down. That was not planned. I apologize, or I don't apologize. But we're creating doorways, right? We're creating pathways for people to enter in based on their particular uniqueness, right? There's a beautiful line about teachers where you try to become someone who can satisfy in all the different ways, all the different needs of all the different students. It's actually one of my favorite prayers to read. Like, may I become someone who can use all the different skillful means that will help all the different students in all the different ways they need. Right. And so I think it's not that far-fetched for us to consider at ACI, how are we going to be those different doorways, those different pathways? They all lead to the same goal. Tartuk Tekmachik, right? All paths lead to the same place, lead to the same ultimate freedom. And how do we fulfill the needs of all the different students? How do we fulfill the needs of their different capacities? Who they are, what they need at this moment, right? We can't expect everyone to come in and be like, I want to do 18 courses with each has 10 classes with 10 homeworks and 10 quizzes and a final exam. Only the weirdos do that. No, I'm just kidding. It's a certain type of person, right? And we've been scouring the world for those people. And now I think we have enough of those people who are trained in the classics and know that well. And we need to know that material well. It doesn't matter what path you're on. you're going to learn all of it. You just might learn it differently, in a different way. So I had a surprise meeting with Geshe yesterday. I was just at the cafe working, and I was actually talking to Sarah. We were reviewing what we were doing today. And he walked in and he sat down, and I'm like, Sarah, I gotta go. This never happens. And I had a 20-minute meeting with him before the other people showed up that he was actually there to meet, right? And he asked how things were going, and we were talking about the development of the five houses, and he wanted to know what activities we were up to. And then we were talking about content, what content's going to go in each of the houses. How are we going to give people the foundational knowledge in the different ways that they need it? And we were exploring some of those ideas. And the main thing that we're here to discuss is we want to show you what you have brought to us, because this isn't something that we can just decide that, oh, this is how it should be. Who are your audiences? What is important to you? What's important to the students that you might be meeting? Also, where are you on your path? Like, what do you wish that ACI Five Houses would be offering to you that could help you better and more quickly achieve your goals? How can we put on slightly different clothes that would reach more people? And so in this transition, we scoured, as I said, like it was over 1,000 submissions, and some of those submissions had 5 to 6 elements each that all of you sent in. And we went through all of them. We reviewed every single one of them, and we brought together and synthesized it. What are the commonalities? What are the similar thoughts you have, right? We're not able to do every single individual at this point yet. But if we can expand into new markets, meaning not business language, can we touch the hearts and minds of new people who frankly need additional help? They need someone to give them the guidance. They don't even know they need it, or they need it, but they don't know what it is. They're looking for a way out. They're looking for something different. They're tired. They're just tired of it. They're tired of it. Call it renunciation. And I think as ACI has grown over the last 30 years, we can reach more of them. And that's why we're doing this. Because I'm tired of seeing all of that. And I want to help more people. And I see each and every one of you wanting to do that too. And so that's what we're doing. This is our method to reach more people. We're in the process of transforming and becoming the teacher, the one who can use different skillful means to help with all the different needs of every different student. And the cool thing about this is, as it's establishing and we're codifying it, it's also a place to continue to grow. It's not going to be just, we're going to stop here and then for the next 10 generations do it this way. The needs of the world change from year to year. And so we're creating a method that can bring the teachings to people, normal people, if they're normal, if they're normal. And then a way to continue to respond to the changing needs of the changing times of people throughout generations. And so this is not just a question of growth into new markets and new audiences. it's also a question of legacy. How do we keep going through the generations? And how do we create a strong foundation to be able to do that? I won't be here forever. What is that going to look like in 10, 20, 30, 40 years? I'm hoping I'm still around in 40 years. But in 40 years, I probably won't have the energy that I have right now. I hope I do. Right. But this will need to be passed on to next generations. And then the next generations. We can't just stop with our own. And so we're thinking 500 years in the future. How do we create something now that can reach more people now and then be flexible enough to look out into the world and see the world has changed? How do we reach those new changes? And how do we fit in so then people go, oh, I see myself here? The main point, and then I'll pass it back to Sarah, is when people look at the five houses, they say, that's me. Whatever marketing, whatever imagery, whatever sounds they see, they go, that's me. And then they go through one of the four primary doors, and then they find a community of people who share similar values. And that's the basics of what we're doing. And so I'm going to pass it over to Sarah now to talk a little bit more about this. What are these mission statements that have come from you? And so then we can start developing what's the uniqueness of each of these houses.
That was so beautiful and so inspiring. I feel so grateful and happy to be here, creating this thing with you, with all of you. It's really, really sweet. So thanks so much for that, Tim. We're doing something so cool, so cool. And so let's move into an activity with that state of mind that Tim just got us to, which is to think about when you read a sentence or two, some of them are two, when you read a couple lines about these houses, if you can put your mind in the mind of the students and the people you know today, but also the ones who will come after you. And then, like I mentioned, we're going to ask you to vote. And here's how we're going to do it. So, the incredible tech team at ACI Five Houses has put together a form. I think we have a link that we'll put in the chat, and then I think we've got a QR code that we'll show you. And it's going to take you to the mission statements of the four houses. I know we keep talking about the five houses, but we're only voting on four of them today. Why? Because they're going to create that fifth house of the diamond house. Anyway, back to what you'll be doing. In a moment, we'll share that link and that QR code with you, and you'll be able to select your language. And you'll have 2 mission statements per house. And I'll read them here in English. Your interpreters will interpret. But what we'd like you to do is vote on which of the two mission statements per house gives you that feeling of, wow, this is what I would want to enter into when I think of a staircase house, when I think of a community of people who are energized around retreat. If I saw this sentence or two, I'd be ready to jump in. Okay? And I think it'll be pretty straightforward. You'll be able to vote on which one you like the best. Okay? And that information will be so helpful for us. And like we were saying, some of us have a certain tendency. I was classics house. I was the nerd who was so happy to have homeworks and study in depth. But you can see things that I might not necessarily see. So I'm thrilled to see these results, and we'll share them with you when we get to Mexico. So tech team. Can we first put up the link and the code for the voter forms? And then there it is. Check that out. You can click on that link and it'll take you to the form we'll use to vote. And I'll give you a second. If the QR code is easier, you can also choose that. And then as you're getting to your list of mission statements, we're going to move into reading them here together. And I'll start us off so we can go to that next presentation, please, tech team, that has the actual mission statements written out for us. I'll read them off and then you get to add your input. Okie dokie. I'm also gonna grab mission statements in case I just read them for you. I thought we might be able to show them with a presentation, but perhaps you can see them in your form. All right, do I have a thumbs up? Can I see how you guys are doing? Are you seeing your mission statements? I see a few. Okay, great. Here we go. So we're gonna start with Classics House. And remember, this is the home to our 18 foundation courses. Many of you might be familiar with it. And if we're gonna give it a revamp, I'd like to know what sounds best to you. So, mission statement 1. The Classics House trains modern minds in ancient Tibetan wisdom, guiding students to study, debate, and apply the core teachings of karma, emptiness, and logic for real-world clarity and lasting transformation. All right, did your interpreters get that? Let me look and see. I see some head nods from our translators. Thank you all. And then I'll read our second one, which is the Classics House preserves the deep logic and sacred texts of Tibetan Buddhism, making them powerfully relevant for modern lives. Through study, debate, and practice, we unlock ancient wisdom for today's seekers, clear, structured, and transformative. All right, my friends, so check out your mission statements. Oh, there they are, yeah. And let us know, you can click one or the other. Which one do you like better? And with that, did you all make your decisions? Let me check it out. Head nods, thumbs up. Okay, great. Let's go on to our next house. So put your mind in those people you know who love meditation and those students to come who will have powerful experiences through that practice of meditation. Okay? And then we can go to the next slide of the Samadhi house. Great. So, mission statement number 1. Samadhi House is a sanctuary for meditation and mind training, guiding seekers to stillness and clarity so they can directly experience the true nature of reality. We provide practical tools to quiet the mind, gain deep insight, and live with presence and peace. I really love watching your faces. How's it working for you? Is that one like giving you a chill up the spine? How's it feel? All right, let's look at the second mission statement for Samadhi House. Mission statement number 2. Samadhi House is a calm space to train your mind and discover what's really real. We teach simple, practical meditation or medication. It's kind of like that. We teach simple, practical meditation to help you find focus, clarity, and peace, so you can live fully and see beyond the noise. All right. So give those 2 mission statements another look, and then choose your favorite. Oh, I see Mike Hoffman is here from Samadhi House presentation in April. It's great to see you. Oh, so nice to see familiar faces. Hi. All right, friends. Thanks for voting. We've got 2 more houses. Let's move into the mountain house. And yes, you can vote on all of the houses. We would love to hear from all of you. Yeah, it's all of them together. All right, mountain house. You're now the retreaters of today and of tomorrow, looking for that experience of deep retreat and community. So, mission statement 1. Yep, you can vote in the link. Mountain House guides seekers to enter retreat safely and skillfully, teaching clear, time-tested methods for deep inner retreat. Through expert instruction and supportive spaces, we help you prepare physically, mentally, and spiritually for total transformation. I love seeing your votes in the chat. Sort of like a consensus, like what you're feeling. That's really great. And then Francisco also shared again, there's a form where you can vote, and then we'll have the data. So let's go on to the next mission statement for Mountain House. Second one is, Mountain House teaches clear, time-tested methods for entering retreat with confidence and care. We provide expert guidance and supportive environments to help you prepare physically, mentally, and spiritually, transforming your retreat into a powerful, grounding, and deeply restorative experience. I love the ideas here. And then you can vote in your form. Looks like some of you are looking for a third mission statement. That's okay too. All right, let's go to our last house for today, which is our staircase house. It's the home of our Lamrim teachings. And again, you can click on that link in the chat so that we can collect your votes. As nice as it is to see your ideas, even in the moment. Okay, staircase house mission statement 1. The staircase house offers a clear, authentic path made up of time-tested teachings designed to guide you steadily through your own spiritual journey. Unlike the intensive classical study, our teachings are approachable and practical, crafted for busy modern lives. We keep ancient wisdoms simple and relatable, helping you integrate meaningful transformation step by step without overwhelming you in your daily world. All right, see how that one lands. And then, yeah, we can go to the next mission statement for Staircase House. It's a little shorter, this one. Staircase House breaks down ancient wisdom into simple, real-life steps designed for busy people. Join us to keep it authentic, stay grounded, and start transforming your life one step at a time. All right, so make your votes, cast your votes for the Staircase House. If you enter them there in that link, we will be able to gather all your information. And then hopefully, when we see you again in Mexico, we can share with you a more finalized version of those mission statements. All right. I hope some of that inspired you. Again, reminded you of what these houses are about. And the next quick thing I'll share before I pass it back to Tim, of course, Tim, you can jump into, is I wanted to talk about some opportunities to get involved with the 5 houses. So as Tim was explaining earlier, we are creating something that's hopefully going to reach a really big, broad audience. And we're doing a lot here at home office, but we can do so much more with your help and with your insights, your input to what people really want and what will be the most beneficial. And so we would like to have you join us in creating these houses. And we've got some volunteer opportunities that are just the start of creating this, what I hope to be global movement for the 5 houses. And you've got a QR code here. You can also go to our website, the5houses.com. You'll scroll to the bottom. And for now, we're starting off with the hopes of, yeah, exactly. Now you can see it. Thank you. There it is. So 5houses.com, you'll scroll to the bottom and you'll see the place to apply to be a volunteer. And I wanted to talk about a few people, a few opportunities that might speak to you specifically. First, we need a couple people who can help with the overarching 5 houses project as a whole. We've got a lot to support and to build for our volunteers and for just the structure. Francisco, who helps us with a lot of our tech, he runs the Worldview production team. Just yesterday, we were on a call looking at the next version of our online presence. And it's so exciting what we can do. But we need a few more people to help us build it. It requires a lot of time and a certain amount of skill for that. So there's an opportunity to help five houses as a whole. And then we're also looking for a couple people to help with our translation team. And again, these would be folks who can help specifically with the building of the structure of our entire translation team. So at ACI and Five Houses, we've got 12 languages so far that we try and translate all of our materials into and try and have interpreters so that it can be heard and shared in those countries. But again, there's a lot that goes into getting the information to the translators. And then once it's translated, it comes back to us, but it's got to go into a format. And with 12 languages, having multiple translators and interpreters, you can imagine there's a lot of people to take care of. And the lovely Lara, who is on our team, she could really, really use a couple people to help hold that space for our translators. And then the last one is to help take care of all of you, all of our volunteers, and all of the students. We need a couple people to just keep an eye on the folks who are helping build the houses. We need like a volunteer coordinator. So that volunteer coordinator will work with the awesome, incredible Ale to, again, make sure those volunteers have what they need so they can actually help build what we're creating with each of the houses. Okay? And then last thing I'll share is that I was talking to Tim yesterday. He said we were on that call. Geshe came in, and then we managed to get back on the call after. And I was saying, well, right now, Tim, what do we do? Because at the present moment, we'll need a certain level of English, conversational English to get started. That's for our team to be able to share what we're building. And Tim was like, I know what we can do. We're not ready for it yet, but in the upcoming months, we hope to develop something so that in addition to having volunteers who are comfortable and have conversational English, we can share some courses for the volunteers in other languages so they can support Five Houses too. And we can offer up some business English classes or things like that because we want to support everyone who wants to be a part of the Five Houses. Right now, we'll begin with English, but we do have this dream to open it up to all of our languages because there is so much to be done and created in all of the countries around the world. So you saw the QR code there, and we've got that on the website. Again, it's thefivehouses.com. You can scroll down to the bottom of the page on the English page, and you'll see a place to apply to be a volunteer. All right. Yay. Thanks so much, tech team. That's great. Please join us. We need your help, and we need your mind, your insights. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is the the next time we will see you. So if Tim is still around, he would be great to share a little bit with you. We're going to be back in Mexico. There you are. Hi. Back in Mexico, back in Phoenix. We've also got a little contest you can join. So I'll pass it to Tim if you want to share a bit more about that.
Sure, thank you. So first of all, I want to thank all the volunteers that we already currently have. We did a little math the other day, and we have something like 500 plus people who are supporting ACI with anywhere from small tasks to more ongoing production tasks, like on a daily basis. And really, ACI Five Houses could not be something that is possible without that, right? As an organization, um, so our organization really depends upon that, and the success of the organization is because of the volunteers and because of everything that you're doing for. It's not just for us, but it's for all the students. And so as we're building this new organization, we're not going to be able to just stop asking. We are constantly having more work and um, more little things that are actually incredibly impactful. And so I first just want to say thank you, because without that, we wouldn't have all of you. We wouldn't have all of you in the 12 languages, right? Every day we have people interpreting for us. And so I think I think we all should be rejoicing. We should be very, very excited and proud of ourselves, not in this sort of like conceited way, but we should spend some time rejoicing in what we're doing and how we're doing it. I don't think we rejoice enough. And with that, I think one of the what's coming up next is we're going to Mexico in July. And that has a very already built-in rejoicing kind of event. Our ACI Mexico team is all about the fun of practice. They're all about the enjoyment of community and bringing people together. So we're going to be in Mexico for the next iteration of this, which is also, as we're building the Five Houses, it's also a preparation for Diamond Way, which all of you probably know. And it's the second course in that series of probably 6 courses before we open the door for empowerment. So I'm really, really excited about it. It's 4 days in Mexico City. We went there last year. We had over 200 people. We had about 400 people, 500 people at the public talk. We had over 200 people at the weekend event. So that really, we're looking to expand again this year. It's going very, very well. And it just happens that today is the last day of the early bird sign up, if you're coming in person. And so nice. So if you would like to come to Mexico, today's the last day to save a little bit of extra money on it. And additionally, I just want to give a little bit of that event not only will be in Mexico City, it also will be online as well. And our online event is going to extend beyond the 4 days, because we listen to you and we realize that you want more touch points with the Five Houses. And so at the event itself, we're going to have 4 or 5 classes. So 6 classes. 4 will be dedicated to the primary 4 houses. And then the other 2 classes will be dedicated to developing content. How do we look at the ancient texts? How do we find the intelligence in it? How do we look at those texts like they're a message in a bottle? If they were written 2,500 years ago by an omniscient being, they're relevant to us today. So what message was in that? What message was in there? And our job is to learn how to find those messages and then make them accessible for people through the four houses. And we keep saying four, even though there's five. And I just want to highlight that getting into the fifth house, the diamond house, requires a mastery in one of the other four houses. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later. And then finally, we have a contest. And we're going to learn more details about that contest at the Peachtree World News today after the translation class. But the gist of the contest is the winner will get an all expenses paid trip to Mexico City with limitations. Some limitations apply, like you can't buy a first class ticket. We cannot afford a first class ticket, but we can afford an economy class ticket to fly to Mexico City within certain ranges, of course. And basically what we're going to be asking you to do is to take what you learned at the last event and create short videos with the images, and then to teach what you learned. And we're going to be presenting them during the Peachtree World News over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Yes, Francisco, you can put it up right now. And if you're chosen as the winner, we will get an all expenses paid trip. What if I already signed up, Tim, and I win? Well, we could give you the money back, or maybe you could give it to somebody else because you understand where things come from. So even if you're already coming, please participate. We'd love to have you involved in this. And we're going to get more information about this particular contest in the Peachtree World News today. So after this, please come to the Mixed Nuts Schwenfan's Tower in 1 hour. Listen to a beautiful translation class, and then in Peachtree World News, there will be more information available. So, Susanna, all the registrations for being a volunteer and all of those QR codes will appear at the end and also in the chat if you missed it. So, Sarah, back to you. If anything else you want to say about inspiring people to come, and to finish up today's short informational session.
Yes. Yeah. So thanks again, everyone, for being here and for being a part of the five houses. You're already creating incredible incredible. And I highly, highly encourage you to join these upcoming retreats in any way that you can. I know time is limited, but come online if you can make it in person. We would love to see you, because that's not only incredible teachings from Geshe Michael, but it's where we come together as a community, which is already a huge part of putting the teachings into practice. And it's where we get to share our ideas and flip our mind into taking care, into serving others, which really is the whole point of the practices anyway. So Tim shared about Mexico and the wisdom in the times of chaos, which is the theme, but it's those door to the diamond way teachings from Geshe-la, which are part of that prep work to get into that diamond house. And if you're also looking further into the year, there's also a retreat in Phoenix. So in October, we will gather again in Phoenix, one of the sacred sites, like starting spots of these retreats, the ACI retreats in the past 15 years, I think. And you'll get to, it's so magical how these things just appear. Our tech team is incredible. But yeah, you can join us in Phoenix too. So in person, online, and again, it'll be an incredible download of teachings and a beautiful coming together of people creating the the next version of those teachings for the folks in 5 years, 10 years, maybe 50 years. So check all of those out. Um, I want to do one quick thank you to our team that is the ACI Five Houses team. Um, there are about 6, 8 people who do an incredible amount of work on the back end so that we can come together for these webinars and for the retreats and for the learning platform and so many other things to keep these teachings accessible. So I want to thank Alona, who put together our marketing, and she worked with Anastasia, who was your MC today. I want to thank Ale, who is an incredible organizer and gave me a ton of advice on how to get this webinar together for you today. Also, I want to thank Francisco and our entire tech team, the Worldview production team. I don't know all of your names, but I know you are the volunteers that keep this thing happening. Marina and others, we're so grateful. Also, Pachi, who is putting together your Mexico experience, also runs the website. We're so grateful for all you do, Pachi. And then there's a couple people in retreat. So Christina Kasika and Gina, they do so much reviewing, documents and creating banners. There's a lot that goes into this, and we're so grateful for everyone who makes it possible. So, last thing, thanks to all of you for showing up today. Uh, I encourage you to do a scroll through and look at what might be your future best friends. Oh, I forgot to thank Lara. Lara manages all of our translators and interpreters. And again, couldn't do it without you, Lara. But look at each other. See the future Samadhi house and retreat house, staircase house, classics house. And hopefully you'll all step into that final house of the Diamond Way together. And it's really about taking care of each other and serving the next generation in all the ways possible. So with that, I'm going to give a big wave. Our tech table, if we can do one more roll through of the retreats and also the links to volunteer, get more involved, that would be great. And then we look forward to seeing you in Mexico, either in person or online. We hopefully will get to volunteer with you in the time between. And that's it, my friends. Thank you so much. Again, if you want to hang out after, we'll do a run through of those QR codes. And I will say goodbye. I'll pass it back to Anastasia. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Yay, now I'm mute. Thank you so much, dear Sarah, for this beautiful introduction. And we thanks and we were very grateful for a team that stayed with us. And now he's caring about the big meditation group. Thank you for this extra connecting and beautiful webinar on the design for the five houses with a lot of opportunities for everyone. And as I already mentioned, we are so grateful for every person who made this webinar possible. So thank you for joining us today. We'll look for more, five houses information. For more news, links, and instructions, please follow your Telegram chats, newsletters, and our social media. And let's follow our warm tradition. Let's share our gratitude and goodbyes in our languages. If it's possible, if we can unmute. If we cannot unmute, please do it in the chat. We're so thankful for your time that you've been here. Thank you so much.
Gracias,
Thanks,
Anastasia hermosa.
everybody.
Thank you to
Thank you.
everyone.
Gracias,
Bye bye.
everybody.
Bye bye. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Большое спасибо.
Дякую.
Bye.
Всем спасибо. Благодарю.